Mike, you said you had a good Jadeveon Clowney stat. You hit us with that before we give our opinion on this move, potentially.
He visited the Browns yesterday. We should start with that. That's
and by the way, we haven't talked about Grant Delpit yet. We're going to start the second hour talking about his extension. But go ahead.
Jadeveon Clowney, last season, age 32 season, had 8.5 sacks for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, granted, 4.5 of those came in the final 2 weeks of the season, 3 against the Giants in Week 18. Doesn't really matter. Had 8.5 sacks last season.
It matters.
No one currently on the Browns roster has ever had more than 8 sacks in a season. Ooh. So to Jadeveon Clowney at age 32.
They got a lot of most of their ends are young players.
I'm just saying, when you're looking at a guy and would he be a good fit, I understand he left on some pretty crazy circumstances last time, said some very unpleasant things about the Browns on his way out to Mary Kay. Now, he may have directed them at a certain player that's no longer in Cleveland, and Jared Verse now is, and maybe he feels better about Jared Verse than he did about Joe Woods and Myles Garrett, but Jadeveon Clowney last season for the Dallas Cowboys was still a productive pass rusher and had a season that would have been as good, if not better, than any season from a stat standpoint.
One stat standpoint.
That's what I said, and just that one particular stat than any player currently on the Browns. So I did think it was interesting. 8.5 for Clowney at age 32. No one on the Browns has ever had more than 8 sacks in a season.
It's a good move and it's a good fit. If. Right now, the biggest thing for me, not just the play on the field, it's about the future. It's about the culture you are establishing currently. If he's going to come in and be a locker room cancer like he has every step of his career, stay far away. Do not bring him in. If you think you can get past that, he can be a good teammate, be a good role model, a veteran on this defensive line, then yes, he fills a role. You can never have too many pass rushers. I actually don't think the Browns are going to get a shot at Jadeveon Clowney, because if I'm the Cincinnati Bengals right now with Shamar Stewart potentially missing a lot of time, and that defensive line and the pass rush situation is awful, I think they're going to pick up the phone and pay him whatever he wants. They haven't been connected yet.
Jordan Schultz said the only other team that Clowney's met with was an NFC West, an unnamed NFC West team.
Maybe that changes. I don't know. But here's the thing. Do you have any reason to believe he's going to change who he is?
That's what I'm saying.
I want nothing to do with Jadeveon Clowney on the Browns. The Browns have made a habit in especially since Andrew Berry has been here, in frankly not caring about character.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And how's that worked out?
It's true.
How's that worked out?
And it seems like they've recently turned that page, bringing in character guys.
You just signed a high character guy. You re-signed in Denzel Ward.
Jared Verse, high character guy.
Jared Verse too. Okay. And your young quarterback, I believe, Shedeur Sanders, I think is a high character guy.
I'd agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't need he left on bad terms. And I know it's going to be fun to pile on Myles Garrett as this terrible guy. But Jadeveon Clowney, there's a reason he wears out his welcome everywhere he goes.
He's been on like 7 different teams in 7 years.
He's an okay player at this point in his career. The Browns are playing for the future. Okay? Let the young guys play. I don't need Jadeveon Clowney here. Is he making a big enough difference in them changing their win total? No, I don't think so.
The question I would ask is...
I want nothing to do with him. Part of the reason, the only bad thing about Myles Garrett is he wasn't a great leader, right?
And neither is this guy.
And you talked about, you got to change the culture. Mm-hmm. Well, bringing back Jadeveon Clowney, the man who ripped the organization, who gets kicked out by every other team, even though he's a decent player, is not the way to change the culture.
The only question I would have, and it depends on how much you believe in Alex Wright, and the Browns clearly do because they extended Alex Wright despite the production not necessarily matching.
I like Alex Wright.
I do too.
Yeah.
You have Jared Verse on one end.
Yeah.
You just paid Alex Wright. Granted, you can never have enough pass rushers. I totally understand that part of it. But they still have Isaiah McGuire. They still have Sam Kamara. They have some other young pass rushers that need to get reps to see if they can turn into something. So unless you're telling me Jadeveon Clowney's that much better than whatever you think Alex Wright is, and I don't believe the Browns think that, considering they just invested 3 years, $30+ million into Alex Wright, I don't know where Clowney fits into this defensive scheme.
And even if Clowney is right now better than Alex Wright, who cares? I'm talking about the long term here. I want Alex Wright to be able to play, and he's had some injury issues, but I've always felt there was a lot of potential with Alex Wright, and I want him to be the guy. And I know, yes, you're right, they do rotate guys in. You're not playing everybody, especially now with Myles Garrett gone, because he played more than most defensive ends played. Yeah. But, Jared Verse is still going to play a good amount of snaps. He'll lead the team in snaps in terms of pass rushers. So No, I don't want Clowney here.
And I don't blame Andrew Berry for at least doing his due diligence.
Absolutely.
Bring him in here,
Yeah.
kick the tires, have a meeting, see if, hey, maybe he has changed. Maybe you can work out a very team-friendly deal. Maybe he can be an asset. As it stands right now, we haven't talked to Clowney. We don't know what's going on in his head. We don't know what he's been through. We don't know what he went through in Cleveland. We have a suspicion, but we don't know. I'd say stay far away.
There's a reason why every team needs pass rushers.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason he's
that
available.
Very few teams are interested in him right now.
And it seems like he always signs late in training camp after an injury when it's like, oh, we need someone to fill in here.
Because he's still a decent player.
8.5 sacks last year.
Want nothing to do with him. Not, I don't, the Bengals are more desperate than the Browns at pass rusher, and I still wouldn't want him there either.